What's up, Reds? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. Reds, it's that time of year again. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It's Steven's definitely least favorite time of the year. It's the Transfer Talk Show. It's the summer transfer window. We're linked with everyone under the sun. Steve, what's up? Good morning. How you feeling, man? You ready to talk some transfers?
With me, as always, is Steven. He says, I wasn't here last week. Don't lie to the people.
I forgot you weren't
With
here
me
last week.
most of the time.
That's my go-to line,
That's a
though.
little bit right there. No, I know. You're just robotic at this point.
Yeah,
You're just on autopilot.
I'm just like, I got to get through this opening so I can chat about transfers and piss Steven off.
No. I'm not going to be pissed off. Last week was a much-needed break. What a season. We're not going to get into it. You already spoke about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't even given my thoughts on the final.
All right, sure, share
And
it.
just real quick. I feel relief to an extent. I have a bittersweet feeling of relief after this season. First of all, extremely proud of what we accomplished. Actually, maybe not even so much that. Disappointed in the silverware that we won with the opportunities that we had, but proud of what we accomplished in terms of playing as many games as you can possibly play, making it to every final. You know, being in the end of being there at the end of every competition, winning the FA Cup, winning the Carabao Cup, really impressive. And just like in a nutshell, I don't know why we don't play well in finals.
At least this season.
We play well defensively for the most part. We didn't let up any goals versus Chelsea in those finals. And to be frank, like the Vinicius Jr. goal, that was a weak goal. Like you can literally pinpoint what happened on that.
Yeah,
And I think
fault.
it was borderline offsides that no one seems to be talking about. I think it was really freaking close. But that's neither here nor there. It's a bittersweet feeling. I'm mad that we didn't win the trophy, all the trophies. I wanted at least one of the big two. What we did this season, coming away with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, it's just not enough. We were asked that question many times on the Sunday Summary, and I always said, no, it's not a failure, but it's a disappointment, and I feel that disappointment. Another sweet part of this is thank you to all of the Nothing But Red supporters that are here every Sunday. What a long year. That was like 9 or 10 months of talk every Sunday. And we're not that we're stopping, but there are some people in here that were here for every single episode. So we appreciate you guys. I appreciate the club, the team, Klopp. I just have a sour taste in my mouth, and this is a much needed break for a couple months because I'm just I feel like I played 65 games. That's how deeply invested I am emotionally, literally. So
I echo that.
Guys. That's pretty much it.
I echo everything you said, Steve, honestly. I mean, shout out to everyone in the chat as well. Good morning, Robert Smith, Tony, Richard, Dermot, Hannah, Jody. My mother's in the chat as well. Good morning, Mom. Oyvind, Ryan Johnson, good morning to everyone. Yeah, I echo that 100%. Disappointing. I think if you look at it through two lenses, and after we talk about this, we'll move on to the transfer stuff, but you can look at it through two lenses. If you compare it to the beginning of the season, if you look at it from that lens, it's a successful season because we got 2 trophies. If you look at it from the end of the season where we had 4 possible, we were in a chance to win all 4 and we only got 2. In that sense, it's a disappointment. So that's how I wanted to look at it. But yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts, bro. I forgot that you weren't here last year. So
yeah, and Court last year. I was here last year, but I wasn't here last week.
Yeah. Anyways,
just give me a hard time. Courtois was standing on his head.
It's
credit to him. I don't like him. I don't like Madrid. I don't like Benzema. I don't like any of them. I don't like Ancelotti. But Courtois won that final, and he deserves credit for that performance.
He does, dude.
He does.
He does, yeah.
I can't take anything away from him. But when you play for 95 minutes and you can't score, and you also can't score in what do you play in a final that goes to extra time before pens? 130 minutes, 120 minutes against
120
Chelsea,
minutes. Yeah.
right? And then there's extra time at the end of each half, so it's probably
Yeah, so
130.
125 or something.
If you can't score in 120, what is my math? 340 minutes
Yeah.
of final time, it's embarrassing. That's pathetic.
You want to get
We're
anything else
lucky
off
we
your
got two
chest,
trophies.
bro?
We're lucky
You
we
want to
got
get
two
anything
trophies.
else off your chest, bro?
That's the last part. We're lucky we got 2 trophies. We're lucky Kepa skyded into the 40th row.
Still going.
Yep. And you never know with the shootouts, man. You can't leave it up to chance. That's all chance.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
Matthias, Lyle, Jericho, what's up? Liz, thank you very much for the super chat. The support from Liz has been outstanding throughout this, entire journey here on Nothing But Reds, and all of our channel members, especially you guys. You keep the channel rolling. Everyone who tunes in, you guys are awesome. The support is great. Liz says, NBR rules, Snarky Steve and Bro Mode Kyle are most excellent. James freaking Milner needs to sign an extension. We need stability. All right, we can talk about that, Liz. But again, thanks for the super chat.
Thank you so much.
Real quick, I want to read Tony's comment here, and then we'll talk transfers. Tony says, "I'm happy with the season. We achieved so much. Played every game that was possible. That's the best part. For a team to play in a season and won 2 trophies, next season we need an out-and-out striker, and that leads us in to the show, Steve. All right, we all know Sadio Mane has told the club that he wants to leave. It's the big story. It's the big story. Could we have? I expected it. I did. I expected him when he came out with those comments before the Champions League final to say that. However, what's concerning to me is you don't just. I was talking to you about this, Steve, last night. You don't just replace a player like Sadio Mane. We have identified some replacement type players, or at least players that were linked with to bring in. Not that they could replace Sadio, but at least that they give us another attacking option. And you said it best last night, Steve. We can't replace Sadio, but we need to replace his production. So with that said, we got some names on the list here that we're going to talk about today. And the first being the big one is Darwin Nunez that we've been linked with, guys. So, Steve, just off the bat, what are your thoughts on Darwin Nunez?
Well, again, I forgot that I said that last night, and it's genius. So I want to echo that.
Yeah.
After I comment on Oyvind's side note here, low scoring finals isn't exactly rare. It's just what happens. Yeah, but we're talking over 300 minutes of scoreless football for the best attack in Europe. It's embarrassing. But that's not our fault. So anyways, Darwin Nunez. I'm hearing the price tag's around 6 figures. But he is one heck of a player. And I do think he's a player
6
that
figures,
will replace
bro?
that production.
I wish we could
Yes.
get him for 6 figures. 9 figures.
Okay. 7. No.
9. Are you okay?
6 figures. All right. 9 figures.
Darwin Nunez.
100 million.
100K.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it like that. You're going to bring out the worst in me today. 100 million. Now, granted, I don't care if it's 80 or 120. That ain't happening. I don't see it happening. But he is a guy. He would be at the top of my list. Him and probably another unrealistic one, Harry Kane, that will produce. And I feel confident in saying Nunez will, because Mane played over 50 games this year and had 20-something goals in all comps. It's nothing crazy.
23
What
goals,
the production?
5 assists.
What is it?
Mane, all comps, 23 goals, 5 assists.
Okay. In 51 games, I think.
51 games, yep.
Right. So it's obviously he's great, but like the production is not off the charts. It's not off the charts, Kyle. Darwin Nunez.
How many players in the world are scoring 20 goals, Steve?
In all comps in a season?
Yes. How many players do that?
I don't know, but Darwin Nunez certainly did, and so did Harry Kane. And that's my point. Those are the two, and we might get into Harry Kane. Darwin Nunez will give you the same amount of goals or more. Obviously, there are variables there. He hasn't played in the Premier League. But I saw what he did against us. He was incredible.
Yeah, he was.
So he can replace Mane's production. I don't want another winger. We're replacing Mane because the last couple months of the season, he was our striker. We need an out-and-out striker, and that's what everybody's saying here in the comments. I think Nunez is awesome. I've seen his highlight tapes. He played against us twice. I was really impressed. He put like 3 or 4 balls in the net in that tie.
It's kind of crazy.
You were called offside.
Yeah.
Allison made some unbelievable saves on this guy too. Like, he's legit. But I think Man United are more likely to pull out the checkbook for him. And I don't think that's why he's going to land in Liverpool.
And very much, that's a very good point. Because if we look at the transfer target thing or whatever it is, I gotta look it up here. They usually do like a link or like a percentage. It's likely that Man United, he's more linked with Man United than he is Liverpool, but it's between us and Man United who are scouting him. The problem is this thing right here. Okay, look, they say 100 million, but 60.5 million US dollars is like 40 million euros or pounds, whatever. It's not 100 million. So I don't know where these people are getting these numbers from. Are you smoking
It's just
crack?
rumors. Again, here we go. Here we go. It's my favorite part of it is that none of it's real, Kyle. We don't know
People
what's
just
real.
make this stuff up, dude.
Dude, I'm reading it in articles.
100
Craig
million?
from Anfield Agenda mentioned 100 million. These are just the rumors that we're hearing. But, like, I don't think it's going to be 60.
Look at his
This is
value.
the hottest striker. This is the most sought after striker in Europe right now.
Look, this is what I'll tell you. Okay? Number one, 60 million US dollars. That's just what the units are for here. Let's take that off the table. Let's look at it in pounds. Let's look at it in pounds or euros.
You're the math guy.
A little over 40. Yeah. No, you're
I can't do the conversions.
Today.
I can't do the conversions.
You give Steve 1 week off, and he doesn't know what day it is. All right. So, as a striker, goals, production, the value is going to go up, and and how the club values the player is going to go up. Therefore, even though his value is only, let's just say 42 million euros, I can't do the math off the top of my head, but you can expect them to want at least 60. But 100? That is a 150% markup.
On this website that again is not the Bible.
It's not the Bible, but Transfermarkt, bro, is a pretty damn good website.
Oh, it's great. It's the only thing we can rely on, but that doesn't mean it's accurate.
Agreed.
How about we do this? I mean, look at the last 3 players that Liverpool have purchased and compare it to these. I'm not going to do it today, but that's one way to cross-reference it.
That's true.
I mean, what's Haaland worth? 200? Didn't they just buy him for 75 million?
Well, it was a release clause. That's the difference.
Okay. How about Diaz?
Luis Diaz, it's 50 million US dollars. So, like, what did we finesse him for? It's like add-ons or something. Anyways,
we're just stealing.
Yeah, I know we just steal players. But look, 28 appearances, and this is in Liga Portugal. 26 goals and 4 assists. I have heard a lot of people criticize his passing and his link-up play as being weak. Okay, that's fine. Have you seen the way this guy finishes? He's a natural finisher. Okay, I'm telling you, with Divock, people forget Divock Origi is leaving as well, in addition to Mane. I know we don't see that much of Divock Origi, all right? But Divock Origi was at least a backup pure striker. And Divock Origi could finish. Say what you want about Divock Origi and his dribbling. Divock Origi, I'm saying it.
You give him a shot. He's the best finisher on the team.
He is the best finisher on the team. I'm telling you, best finisher on the team. Okay, with the exception maybe Mo Salah. All right.
He plays like that? Maybe 10 minutes a month, and he gets a goal every time.
I know
he's a clinical finisher with the head, with his foot. He can score with his left.
It's unreal.
He can I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
He deserves some credit. There's a comment here I think that ties it. Continue, but
all right. So, anyways, that's in League Portugal. Go to the Champions League. He played 10 appearances with 6 goals. All right. And then he got the Allianz Cup, 1 appearance with 2 goals. And then he got 2 appearances, no goals in this Taça de Portugal. Okay. So in all comps, you got 26, 32, 34. Man's got 34 and 4 in all comps. It's remarkable. It's a lot of goals, guys.
That's a striker.
As a striker.
That's an out-and-out striker.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now you can see he's a little versatile here. Plays as a center forward mainly with a second striker left winger as his secondaries. Okay. Now they used to have the thing on here where you could see how many goals they had from each position. I don't know where that went, but I'm not too worried about it. Now his contract expires in 2025, and that could very well be the reason why his price tag would be so high, guys. We have to take that into account. A lot of people think that because, like with Sadio Mane, for example, he only has 1 year left, and that's why his price tag is so low. Sadio Mane's market value is higher than Darwin Nunez's, according to this website. And I agree. But because of the contract and because he has already told Liverpool he wants to leave, all of our leverage is gone. His price drops. It's how it works. It's business 101. Okay. However, Steve, give me your thoughts on Darwin Nunez, and then we are going to move on to the next player on our list.
I would love him. Give me him now.
Okay. I'd rather
now for 100 mil though. I'd rather get 2 players for 50 each or 3 for 35 each. 33. That's my thought process. Dermot says City has signed Haaland and Alvarez, who scored 6 goals in 1 game last week. They will be stronger. We need 2 attackers if Mane and Origi leaves and a scoring mid. We need a striker. But I don't think my gut is telling me we're going to get another utility winger. Someone that can play all over the place, which is fine, but I would like to see somebody that has that is a out and out center forward type player. That's what they do. That's what they specialize in.
So
to rotate with Bobby and Jota. And if Origi leaves, and if Ox leaves, and if these PSG rumors about Keita for 50 million are true, we're gonna make some money.
Well, we're gonna make some money, but first off, you should not sell Keita. We're talking about extending
50 million. I'd sell him in a heartbeat. Couldn't get him out of there fast enough.
I know you would.
That's the rumor I'm hearing.
We got to get Ox out of there. But anyways, let's move. Well, let me see if there's any other comments in here. People talking about Jota being burnt out towards the end of the season. I agree. Jota's form fell off a little bit. Still, the man had over 20 goals in all comps. Remarkable. People forget that. People forget. Jota had over 20 goals in all comps. Okay. Anyways, Oyvind.
Diogo Jota played more football this year than he's ever played in his life.
Diogo Jota, when this season ended, slept for 2 days. All right. Oyvind said, I think we need a good mid more than an attacker. Hendo, Fab, and Thiago could get injured anytime. Do not forget Fabio Carvalho. However, I know he might not be game ready, but don't forget that's an attacking mid right there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I think there's plans for him this year.
And I think
I don't know game ready. I don't know how to rate that, but I think there's plans for him this year. And before we just close the loop on Diogo Jota, I just want to show one thing.
All right.
Or explain one thing. He had 61 appearances this year.
He played in every game?
I think we played 65 matches.
Oh, okay.
He had 61 appearances, dude. I don't even know if I can change the year on this website, but I'd be willing to bet he's never played more than like 40 in the season. So yeah, he was burnt out.
You're probably not wrong. Now, next one on our list is the, I would say less popular target, but certainly a great option, Jared Bowen. All right, Jared Bowen, we've been linked with this man for coming up on a year now, I'd say. Kind of flew under the radar for me until we were linked with him. But English player, plays right wing over at West Ham, reminds me a lot of that Salah type player, that Harvey Elliott type player. Do not sleep on Jared Bowen, guys. Man had a phenomenal season in the Premier League. 36 appearances, 12 goals, 12 assists. Remarkable. And then in the Europa League, 9 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. FA Cup, 2 goals. Carabao Cup, 1 goal. Which goes to show the man produces when he plays. Another player that can play as a second striker and center forward. All right. He is left-footed. Market value has only gone up. But again, a lot of people say the English tax, yes, that's great, but look at that value. 38.5 million US dollars. That's probably between 25 and 30 million pounds. Add on the English tax. I'm telling you, Steve, I said this last night, we could probably get Jared Bowen again for less than 55 million, which is right in our range.
I think it's a little higher than our typical range, but I think that range has to increase.
It does. Well, that's
Plus, you
for
got
sure.
English tax here. This is English tax.
I know it's gotta go up. We have to be buying players. If we need to dip into the market, we need to be able to break that 60 million pound barrier. Like not all the time, because that's a lot of money, but we should not have any concerns about doing that if we need to. But the question is, do you do it for Jared Bowen? Let me hear your thoughts.
Do you remember when Jared Bowen and John McGinn came up 6 months
Yes.
to a year ago? And I laughed. I laughed so hard because, first of all, I was like, who's Jared Bowen?
That's what I said.
Yep. I know John McGinn because he's in every FIFA Ultimate Team pack because he's the most basic average player there ever was. You pull John McGinn, and those Ultimate Team players out there know what I'm talking about. He's all over the place. Pull him 1,000 times a year in a pack. I don't want anything to do with him. But Jared Bowen proved something this year. He's a real good player. And we're going to need somebody on that side. If Salah leaves, we don't know what's happening with Salah. So, again, I think this is another great option. Most transfer windows, I'm like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about this. I am excited about these options, but also another gut feeling I have, these major links, like we're working on something under the radar, like out of the blue.
Of course.
Right now.
Of course.
Like something shocking. Someone we don't have our eye on. And that's going to be someone in the 30 to 40 million range. And I think we're going to buy 2 of them this year. Because we have Carvalho. We're starting to build that attacking mid movement, I guess. If they re-sign Keita, like I think that attacking mid conversation is done. Then it's defensive mid, right back cover, and attacker.
And we don't.
And I think we'll make moves for 2 of those.
We don't even necessarily play with an attacking mid, So again, I get it
from midfield, Kyle.
Yeah,
not a cam.
That's what I was. Yeah, I get it.
Gundogan that can win you a match from midfield. We don't have that.
We got DWJ here. Bowen is a good player, and Klopp turns good players into great players. That's certainly true. I don't know. For me, Jared Bowen is a productive player. Okay, he'll get you goals. It's not the exciting signing that everyone wants, and I think that's why at first I was like, no, I don't want Jared Bowen. But I mean, guys, like this is kind of our bread and butter is Liverpool, unfortunately. I mean, we find these players who, and I wouldn't say Jared Bowen's under the radar. Jared Bowen's not linked with anybody else, dude. He's only linked with Liverpool. This is what we do. We go out and we get these players, and they turn out to be great. So Jared Bowen, he's always that option, man. We don't have to worry about him on international duty. Okay, he has no caps for England. He's 25
Yeah.
years old, right in his prime. Again, his contract expires in 2025. So again, I'm probably wrong with that. 50. They're probably going to ask for a lot of money for this guy. So that could be a deterrent for Liverpool. But yeah.
No caps yet.
No caps yet. Who
He
knows?
plays on the right over there for them. Sancho, he plays on the left too. Saka.
I think we need to get rid of Ox,
it's tough to
though.
break into that squad. I don't care how good you are. But 12 assists.
He made it. Glenn Boylan says he made his first cap for England yesterday. Oh, all right.
There we go.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
Glenn, what's up, dude? Welcome. I don't know if I recognize that name.
I don't. What's up, Glenn?
Welcome. 12 assists in the Premier League or all comps?
No. 12 assists in the Premier League.
That's what excites me, not the 12 goals.
I know.
Not the 12 goals.
Forward?
Because you can score 12 one year and then 4 the next, or 20. You don't know what you're getting. But 12 assists, that's promising. Yep. That's like, he must have been right up there with Robbo, Trent, and Mo Salah. He must have been top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Top 4, top 5.
He was in the running for player of the season, dude. Jared Bowen was. He was up there with Declan Rice. I mean, look, we're laughing. Jared.
Oh my
Bowen.
God, man. Jared. Dude.
Jared.
Man, what would the song be? What would the song be for Jared?
I was just thinking that. What would his cop song be, bro? Oh my God.
Oh man. If I think of something, I'll sing it for you guys, but I don't know.
All right, now let's move on to the controversial one here. Christian Pulisic, right? Maybe a little bit of bias from Steve and I. You guys aren't wrong. The man is completely injury prone. Where I think we stand a chance here is the fact that Chelsea are just stupid when it comes to transfers. Okay. He has not hit the ground running at Chelsea at all. Neither is any player they bring in for the most part, except for, Kai Havertz is really, stuck in there. But he might be looking for a move away. And again, we were linked with this guy heavily when he was trying to determine whether he wanted to come to Liverpool or Chelsea. All right. Now, if we take a look at this guy, his contract runs until 2024. All right. It says he plays right wing, but he's right-footed. I really feel like he plays either wing. I want everyone to remember his market value has gone down, and not just according to this website, but just in general. He has not become what everyone expected him to be at Chelsea. And another thing, guys, is this right here, this age number. 23 years old. 23 years old. It's amazing. If we could land Christian Pulisic, would you do it, Steve? Thoughts?
Without a doubt in my mind. Last summer, we had a conversation. You asked me, who are the 3 players that I would want if I had a choice right now? And I said, aside from the major names, right? Haaland, Mbappe. Because we've been talking about those guys for years. I'm glad that's done and dusted. I named 3 players. I said De Bruyne, Suarez, Pulisic. Those are the 3 players on my wish list. And first of all, he will go down as the best United States player ever.
Once
That's
his
one thing.
career's
'Cause
over.
he's only 23. He's going to
Yeah.
play for another 10 or 12 years. Yeah, it's ridiculous. He has a chance to do something special in the World Cup, which maybe he shouldn't, because that'll increase his value. You know
Mhm.
how people get all fired up after the World Cup.
Oh, of course.
Yerry Mina, James Rodriguez, whatever, whoever.
That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. Like, we need to get a player before the World Cup.
Like, dude, like he can do some damage in that tournament. He is a legitimate player, and
Yeah.
they play him in a very much like forward role.
Yeah.
Like he's always in and around the box. He's their scorer. When they play those cold like winter, they played a winter game, the U.S. team
Mhm.
in like Ohio in like January, and it was like -4 degrees.
Jesus.
He sat on the bench for 85 minutes, and they just needed a goal. He came in and like scored one or two.
What a legend.
He's a great player.
Who are we playing, though?
I have no idea. No idea. But I will say, Tuchel is not a big fan of his. That's the other thing. He deserves regular game time. And yeah, he's injured, but like, did he start any of those finals against us? He
I
might
don't
start
think so.
one.
He doesn't
He might have
start a
started the
lot, guys.
second one.
He's only in the
I feel
starting
like we played
11.
Chelsea 5 times this year, and we barely saw him. He didn't
He's
start.
He's only in the starting 11 34% of the time in the Premier League this past season. 34% of the time. Champions League, 40%. What else we got? FA
Now,
Cup,
that's not to
50%.
say, right?
Wow.
That's not to say that that number is going to jump from 34 to 74
Right.
because we have players on the left, Jota, Diaz. I mean, who knows? Maybe Mane stays for another year. I have no idea, but like I could see that going up. I could see like he might be thinking. I think about this a little bit deeper. He could be thinking about how Thiago, Matip are all injury prone, and then like Liverpool. I don't know the way Van Dijk recovered. Like maybe we have a better training staff now,
Yeah.
or like our recovery programs are doing what. Like Jota played the whole year. I think that's. I don't want to get into that too much, but yes, I would love him. I think he is a great player. I think it's good for the club too because he's American. That opens up an entire other market.
Commercially, yeah,
So
of course.
I think it makes sense on a number of different levels.
Shout out to Ryan Johnston over here with the super chat. $5. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Always appreciate it when you guys support the channel. Seriously. Bowen keeps the goals flowing, so our front three stay glowing. That's the jam. Oh man. I love it. That's such like an American song too. Flowing. Keeps it flowing. Oh man. Shout out to Ryan Johnson. I like that though. Hopefully it'll catch on. But yeah, I think Christian Pulisic for me is a great option for depth. He would definitely play more at Liverpool than he would at others at Chelsea if he stayed there. Given that, like you said, Tuchel's not a fan. Excuse me.
Yeah, Liz
But
has. I think Pulisic would be a good fit. Jota and Kate are injury prone, and our staff had them sorted, as well as Matip. That's what I'm trying to say, Liz. You just put it into better
yeah,
terminology, better words. LFC Aaron says World Cup is in November. Like I think I've been sleeping under a rock. I've been making a lot of mistakes lately. I had no idea
yeah.
it was in November.
Yeah, it's because it's in Qatar, bro. They can't if you put it in the summer, all these players are going to die of heat stroke. So, all right, next
I
one.
feel like they almost died last one. I feel like there was some real hot games last World Cup.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of nuts. All right, so here's the options, bro. Do we look at Harry Kane next, or do we look at Serge Gnabry?
Let's do Harry Kane real quick because it's very easy.
Harry Kane. Harry Kane. What a guy.
Yeah, Harry Kane.
He,
All right,
this
so
man, Harry Kane. What a
dude,
guy.
you ready for this? I'm going to list off every season goal tallies from 2014 up until this year.
Okay.
21, 25, 29, 30.
All comps.
21.
All comps.
No. Premier League goals. 21, 25, 29, 30, 17, 18, injury prone those 2 years, 23 last year, relatively healthy, 17 this year. He averages like 22 or 23 goals a season. Assists. He's had assists of 9 and 14 the last 2 seasons.
I'm going to let you finish.
That's double Mane's production. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to
let you finish.
He's at a rival club, another top 6 club. I'm not a big fan of him, but if he becomes a Liverpool player, I'm going to love him to death. And that is insane production. Europa League, 8 matches, 8 goals. Champions League last year, 5 matches, 6 goals. He is the definition of production. He will be quiet all game and then get you a brace. But he's not going to press. He battles injuries too, and he doesn't have the pace. He doesn't fit the stature of the player that we like. He's big. He's slower. He's got a hell of a weak foot, and he's got an eye for goal. I just don't think he fits our system as well as some of these other guys.
That is where I was going, okay? Look, Harry Kane, no doubt, is one of the best strikers. I honestly think, dude, he's one of the best pure strikers in the world. Would you disagree?
No. He's got to be. There literally are not many. Like, I think you got him? Benzema, Lewandowski, Kane,
like
Holland,
who else?
Like strikers.
Yeah. Like I feel Danny like those are the 3. Anyways, look, Harry Kane is the he is the opposite of what we go for. I agree, Oyvind. He's the opposite of what we usually buy. He is a Divock Origi type striker in the sense that he's not mobile, he's not versatile. He is a pure center forward, and he is a hold-up player center forward at that. Yes, he can do a step over to make some space and take a shot from outside the box, but he's not. I feel like Harry Kane's not going to press. Harry Kane's not going to, drop back into midfield and do work like that. But Harry Kane can get you goals. I don't think this one was ever going to happen. It's nice to be linked with him, but I'm telling you, it's not going to happen, bro.
No, I don't think it's going to happen, but no, I don't think anyone does. But yeah, he doesn't really fit the play style, but like I didn't consider Jota a pressing monster before he came. And I don't know if Diaz was. I don't know exactly what those monster. Right. I still don't know what their systems were. But like even Origi, he wasn't, but he's turned into that. When he gets a moment, when he gets a minute, he's sprinting, he's pressing. And they're all working. And I think Kane would do that too, because he won't be relied on. And like, how long can you stay in Tottenham, dude? Like, how long can you stay there and just be top 4, top 6, 7 team? Like, they're never threatening for the league. Harry Kane needs to fight for trophies. So I don't think it's going to happen, but I think we could turn him into more of a presser.
I agree.
Or just change our style just a little.
Yeah, change. I mean, we know Klopp can adapt. We know Klopp can adapt. I just want to give another shout out to Ryan Johnson, another super chat here, throwing out some names that we should be looking at. Right back, Pedro Porro. Centerman, Leon Goretzka. No, God, I would love Leon Goretzka. Center forward, Darwin Nunez. You should really look at Pedro Porro's right back. They're all out of contract next year. Yep. Well, Liverpool, we're going and buying a right back from Aberdeen for $4 million. That's what we do. All right. Probably going to get that guy, Ramsey. But again, let's go to Tony Madden real quick, and then we'll move on to Serge Gnabry. I don't like Kane. I think that his partnership with Son is the reason he scores as many as he does. That's a good shout. Take Son out of the equation, I don't think he would have the same sort of numbers. I agree. I think they feed off of each other. And that's going to be interesting to see between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. If we take those two out, how are they going to fare? But again, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Again, it's just nice to be linked with Kane, but I don't think we're ever going to splash the kind of money for Kane. And who knows, if we do, I'd be very surprised if we bring Kane in. It's the same exact reason I'd be surprised if we brought Lewandowski in. It's just not the type of forward we go for. You know, they're not really mobile strikers. Like Lewandowski more so is, but Harry Kane is just like a get the ball, turn and strike, and the man does it well. Whereas like Jota's like a poacher, he's mobile. And then, of course, Mane was a great center forward. Bobby Firmino is more of a center attacking mid that has been transformed into a center forward. Again, it's interesting to think about.
Kane's a playmaker, too. He's a hell of a passer, and he's got probably the best left foot in the Premier League.
Except for maybe Son.
Yeah,
Are you talking about best left foot of right-footed players? Is that what you mean?
He's got curlers. Yeah, he's got curlers from 30 yards with his left foot. Rockets. You don't see that. Son's not doing that.
All right, Serge Gnabry. Let's pull up this guy. 77 million? What?
Dude, I mean, he's a great player. He's a winger.
All right, let's look at it. In the Bundesliga this season, 34 appearances, 14 goals, 6 assists. Let's go over to the Champions League. Got 8 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. Starting 11, 74% of the time in the Bundesliga, so pretty consistent there. 2 appearances and 2 assists in the DFB Pokal, or however you say it. DFL Super Cup, 1 appearance, 1 assist. Again, another versatile player, plays across the entire front line. That'll be interesting, my man. Serge Gnabry.
I don't know if this is real. He does play on the right more so. So less Salah's leaving now.
And he's right-footed. I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up. Sadio Mane started out on the right wing, guys. He was a right winger with Southampton, and he originally started at right wing, went over to the left wing when Salah got here. Okay? Now that Mane's leaving, you got a player that can play across the entire front line that prefers the right wing but can play on the left. This is starting to make more and more sense.
I don't know if this is a real, like the Harry Kane link is former play. Like that all started with a former Liverpool player. I can't remember who it was. Said we should sign him. Or like a former English player.
That's the point. Like, what is that? We should sign this guy. Boom, he's linked with us. That makes no sense.
Well, then everybody posted on social media because they want clicks. And that's how that happens. It's not realistic at all. I don't think Serge Gnabry is realistic either. But if Mane goes to Bayern, then the swap deal conversations come to play. But like, whatever happened to the Kingsley Coman links?
Those died because of Luis Diaz. No. When we got Luis Diaz, those died.
Right, but like if we're talking swap deal, like why is it Serge Gnabry and not Coman? He's still in Bayern, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's younger. He's 24 years old. Bayern aren't going to want to give him up. I think
Serge Gnabry's worth more
than Kingsley Coman.
He's a better plair.
All right, yes. Well, let's just see. Let's see if you're right. I doubt you're right.
77. Coman's probably 35 or 40, if I had to guess.
It's 66.
Again, this is a guess.
Right. I hate when Steven's right.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't even know if I want it. He plays on the right.
No, neither. I don't know if I want it either, Steve. I'm just looking at it.
He plays on the right. He plays on the right. I don't think it's realistic. He's on the right.
Okay, Steven. Mane played on the right.
Mane doesn't play on the right anymore.
But he did. He played on the right up until we got Salah. So my point with that is...
So 6 years ago, he played on the
right. Listen for a second. My point is that it has never deterred Liverpool before to buy a player who plays the same position as a player we already have. That's what I'm saying. Look at Luis Diaz. Look at Diogo Jota. It has not deterred us. That's all I'm saying.
That wasn't the question. What do you think of this? Is what you asked me. No, I don't think it's happening.
Fair enough. What about
What do you
that
think?
Don
You tell
Juma
me.
guy?
No, he's a left winger.
Don Juma. Are not
All these guys can play anywhere because players get hurt throughout the year. Serge Gnabry plays on the right side. That's where he plays. Lewandowski's their striker. Every match.
Ooh, I could see this one much. I could see this one. I could see
don't
this one
know.
happening. Are not Don Juma. All right. Linked with this guy heavily ever since he was at Bournemouth. His contract expires in 2026. Yikes. Okay. All right. That's oh, I don't like that. Okay. Well, hey, Don Juma, 23 appearances, 10 goals, 3 assists. All right. Who else we got? Is there anyone else on this list?
There's a million out there.
There are. There really are.
We're just talking about attackers here for the most part.
Yeah.
But
and I only have one midfielder on my list right now, and that is Ibrahim Sangare. That's the only other link that I've really seen. And we'll just pull him up and take a look at him. All right. This is one I could totally see happening. Like, legitimately totally see this happening. All right. So if you guys aren't aware, Ibrahim Sangare is a center defensive midfielder, plays for PSV Eindhoven. Now from defensive mid, he had 29 appearances, not always starting. 3 goals, 2 assists. Guy's only 24 years old. Plays for the Ivory Coast. And his market value, if you look, is only 17.6 million. We could get this guy for a steal. Now, I'm not saying that he's like, oh, he's super great or anything. He would clearly just be a depth guy. And he's a defensive mid. So, again, you know, why? Like, between Fabinho, he definitely fits the Fabinho mold way more than a Milner or a Hendo. But James Milner has shown that when he's on the pitch, bro, he might be the best midfielder on the pitch. He's just so good. He gets better with age.
True. And Hendo can't play 60 games
No.
for another year. But, like, you're going to have Milner at most, fingers crossed, one more season. You bring this guy in, you let him learn the system. He takes over that Milner role. Rotates with Fabinho because he's getting older too in the years to come. This makes sense. This makes sense. It's cheap. We're cheap. Anything for a bargain. So this makes sense. And if you can get this guy and mold him, if Klopp sees something in him, then I'm all for it. I don't know anything about him. I'm going to be completely honest. But that 17.6 million, so you say 15 to 20, 25, 12, that sounds realistic for us.
I know. I'm kind of eyeing this guy, bro. And just because it's another player, let's look at him. Javi from Barcelona. Now, if you guys don't know, Fabrizio Romano, like this morning and yesterday, has been reporting that Barcelona have finally like kind of begun talks to offer a new contract proposal, because that's been the big talk, is that they're not going to extend his contract, which I never thought was going to be a thing. Okay. And the kid's 17 years old. His market value is 66 million US dollars, but his contract expires next summer. I never thought he was going to be released from Barca. It sounds like they're going to want to extend him. But Steve, what do you think, man? I would have this guy in a heartbeat. 17
100%.
years old? Are you
The next
kidding?
Thiago.
Guy's unreal.
No brainer. No brainer. He's already experienced at his age. And you can pay a lower wage. You can get this guy and pay him 80 million or 80,000 a week or something low. You don't have to pull out the checkbook. You can sign him on a fat contract. If he plays well in 2 years, you bump him up to 150, whatever the case may be. But this isn't a guy that's going to come in like Nunez and you're going to have to put him at 175. Different players, but you get what I mean. Like, this financially makes sense because he may be more upfront, but he's going to be cheaper on the books.
Yep.
So Spain, yeah. Come on.
Why not, dude? Why not? That's what I'm all about. These are all the heavy links with us, though. And guys, it's interesting. Steven said it best at the beginning of the show. What's likely going to happen is that we're linked with these players that are like under the radar. We're looking at players in the between 20 and 40 range, right? Between 20 and 50 range. And we're probably going to end up signing someone that we're not even linked with. However, I echo the sentiment of everyone in the chat that was saying, if we're selling Sadio Mane and we're selling the likes of Ox and Divock Origi's leaving, we are going to have to sign replacements. Okay. You can also look at it through the lens of, hey, don't forget about Takumi Minamino. Minamino might step up now that Mane's leaving. Although I get where that's coming from. I do, because he had a phenomenal season this season. Can we bank on that? Can we bank on Minamino stepping up and making this production that we've needed? Or even Luis Diaz? Can we expect these players to step up? Okay.
In the Cups, you can expect Minamino to step up.
Of course. And then you have the conversation of the midfield. We can save that for next week because we're probably going to have at least 40 other transfers this week come out that will be linked with. So this is all interesting, Steve. What are your closing thoughts, my man?
I think I'm just ready to make the next signing. I'm ready to make one.
Me too.
We can't for a while, right? July 1st?
July 1st, yeah, but we can certainly agree and talk before then. They can't come until July 1st. Liz says, I don't think we need an Ox replacement. Interesting. And then Minamino's linked with Leeds, could be used to lure Rafinha to us. Yeah, that's something I saw as well, which we can get into more. But look, guys, the point being is that Liverpool are always going to be linked with every player at this point. When you're a top club, you're going to be linked with everyone. When we were below par, right, we weren't linked with anyone. Now look at us. So it's good to be linked with these players. Are they all Klopp players? No. But it's good. This is the fun. This is the fun part of the season, Steve, when we get to look at all these potential transfers and chat about them. So
that's right, man.
All right.
This is the time where we have no idea what we're talking about.
No idea. All speculation. No one knows anything. Not a damn thing. And that's the best part about it. I just want to give a quick shout out to Liz, Ryan Johnson. Thank you guys very much for the super chats. I believe it was Liz who gave us one as well. And everyone else who's tuning into the show, we appreciate your support. Throughout the summer, we'll be here talking to you guys about transfer news, whatever the case may be, whatever comes up, contracts, whatever. And it's going to be exciting. So again, happy Sunday to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and give the video or the stream a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That's the biggest help you can give us. And we will see you guys next Sunday. Until then, Reds, take care.